everybody. I am live streaming this on YouTube as well today. I wanted to try it out, play around with it. So that's why I have a camera right here, if anyone is wondering. All right, so live streaming YouTube. We're going to talk about local service ads today. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. All right. Brian, note taker, yes. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How we doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
Another beautiful day in cold paradise here, right?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I'm around the corner from you.
That's not far at all. I'm over it, man, already.
Yeah. Well, you know, I moved from Florida.
Yeah. What part of Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
I'm actually driving to Cape Coral with my kids.
Oh, nice.
The day after Christmas, so that should be interesting.
That's like a 17 to 18 hour.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah, I grew up in Tampa, Clearwater area.
Nice. What the hell you come all the way up here for?
My beautiful and amazing wife.
Oh, there you go.
I wanted to be closer to her family.
Mm.
And,
There you go.
Life.
That'll do it. All right, so Brian, I took a cue from you. I want to touch on local service ads in this one. I think we have enough people in here just to get started. People will come in when they come in. But so I went through, we are running them right now in our agency. We're selling them. We literally just started not a couple weeks ago. And I went through, Sue, I saw you in the training too for Ryan's. So I was there too for that. That was really good. He kind of rushed through some of it, but
yeah,
the SOPs are good.
I mean, I have my opinions on it.
Yeah. I pulled some gold nuggets out of it, so I'm gonna kind of.
There's some good stuff in there for sure. I just, I guess I was hoping for like a little bit more, considering the sales page was like, we can show you how to do this consistently, and then he was like,
yeah.
Well, if you want consistent, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so.
I thought it was interesting. I've learned originally. Let me let these people in from Josh Nelson, Seven Figure Agency. I don't know if any of you guys are in there. Evan, you are, I think, right?
I'm not in it, but I know I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. So that was the original training that I took, and then I bought Ryan Stewart's thing just because I'm buying anything I could find, really, because I want to know more as much as possible. And yeah, definitely some gold nuggets in there. So I'll go through what I pulled out of his training. So Sue, you'll probably know most of the stuff, but so one of his biggest things was the accounts come out of the gate hot, right? They like Google kind of pushes them and wants them to, get calls quickly because they want you to spend money, obviously. But they die off after 4 months. Now I haven't experienced that yet, but Evan, you would know probably better than I would. Is that like does that happen? Like they'll come out hot and they'll die off?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't familiar with that formula, but yeah, like, yeah, in fact, we have a tree service that just started recently and just right out the gate got, not a ton of calls, but I mean, we got like 20 solid calls in the first month. And,
yeah.
Which is beyond my expectations for LSA lately.
Yeah, for sure.
And then second month was pretty good, and then like so far it's been pretty dead, and then I mean SoCal, so it's still warm here. We're in high winds, so
yeah,
he's getting calls from the Google ads, but not as much from LSA right now. So we're trying to figure it out. But
so apparently that's a very common problem, and there's 2 workarounds for it, which I thought were interesting. Now one just seems completely unscalable, and Sue, you'll know right away what I'm talking about. I don't know how he's possibly doing this, but the one way is he's deleting and unconnecting the local service ads account from the GMB and then setting up a brand new LSA account every like 4 months. So he's doing that constantly in like a cycle because I guess they're heavily pushing the new accounts because they want them to get calls quickly. And then I guess they taper off. But again, I haven't run into this yet, so I don't know. But that doesn't seem, how are you gonna do that if you have 200 of these guys? That doesn't really seem like.
Especially like some of these accounts take forever to get.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, we got a pretty good SOP right now where we're getting them live. The only holdup is the verification process, which is like, we've been doing pretty well with it though, like 48 hours, 72 hours at the most.
I meant the enhanced verification counts.
See,
yeah.
They're really tough on it.
I'm in a weird place where I'm not getting them right out of the gate, and so I'm not really sure what to do. My guy's it's been And when you guys say right out of the gate, you said 72 hours.
No, I meant approval. I meant approval just to get it live.
Okay.
So if you're,
These have been live for, the ads have been live for 2.5 weeks, and he's gotten one call.
yeah,
And I'm like doing all the things, so I'm not
What's
sure
the
what.
category?
It's kitchen and bath remodeling, so
yeah. Does he have? Is it just phone calls, or does he have messages on too?
both.
That's.
It was a phone call.
Is it a tiny location?
Well, that's maybe the problem. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it tiny, but 2 counties in central New York State.
Yeah,
And the biggest city is Syracuse,
yeah.
which isn't a huge city. I mean, it's a.
You should, if you're targeting Syracuse, you should be getting stuff.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah. Because the one way was to create a new account, right? If it dies off, and the other way was to turn on messages, which I thought was interesting. So if you're only going after phone calls, remember he was like, if it dies off, I've seen,
Though, from
yeah.
the beginning.
And turn off the branch search.
And I have that off.
I was trying to figure out a way, Rob, do you send messages into anywhere from LSA, or do you just send it directly to the customer?
What's that? I couldn't hear you. My kids jumping around upstairs.
On messages, do you send them into a CRM like High Level, or are you sending them directly to the customer?
Right now, directly to the customer, that's gonna have to change. I would rather some kind of auto response. Like our biggest thing when we sell it is like you have to answer these immediately. Like they have to be as quickly. Yeah, like this can't sit around. It's gonna hurt you if it sits around. The same with the phone calls. If you don't answer the calls, like there's nothing we can do. You kill the account, you kill it. So
Part of the issue with my tree service, he so many calls go to voicemail, and so that I actually made an AI. My first one I made last night for him, and I'm amazed how well that thing works.
Listen,
All the prompts, I'm like, this thing's awesome.
this thing is we actually are testing it right now. So I'll kind of off track, but this is interesting. So we sold an auto detailer 2 days ago, and we have a box that if they want a answering service, right, for missed calls and stuff like that. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna hire call centers and do all this stuff, and then this rolled out. And our Dustin, our COO, is like a GHL guy. He's like a wizard with it. So we're rolling it out, the answering service for missed calls for this guy to test with. So I'm really interested. We like did a demo, and it's pretty cool, man. Like you try to throw it off, and it's good.
Really good. I acted like an angry customer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll have it. You know.
And something I didn't
Right now.
Something I didn't realize too was that it gets smarter the longer it runs and the more calls it gets.
If you put I can put a really long set of prompts in there.
Yeah.
4 paragraphs, and it's well, I'm gonna call the customers. So I made it late last night, like 10 times last night, but I'm calling the customer this morning, just tell them like, dude, you lose 1 tree job, and that's months of AI.
It's crazy.
$1,000 easily in a tree job. So.
That's crazy. Brian, what's up, buddy?
Up there, Evan, what were you saying you were doing that with a couple paragraphs or something?
Prompts.
So the AI, you have to give them prompts. Like if you just give it a couple sentences, it's going to be a lazy AI, and it really you tell it how to speak. Don't interrupt the customer. All about the business, what they do, all the service. If you Google like AI prompts, and I don't know if you use Go High Level, but they have a tutorial on prompts too, and then you kind of customize it for the business. But I put in the business owner's name, and so it'll say like, "Hey, Antonio at our estimator, can they give you a call?"
Yeah. So. Locations and services too. I've noticed was important.
Yeah.
So we have essentially set up as all right, five rings and nobody answers. Our client doesn't answer. Then the AI kicks in and will basically take live transfer if possible, or if not, just take like a message pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how it works. Brian, go ahead, buddy. Sorry, I saw your hand up.
No, I was just gonna say, have you guys found any kind of SOPs on those that are like decent? I mean, on setting those up. I mean, I feel like it's so new.
I honestly, it's like gibberish to me, man. Dustin does all this stuff.
Yeah, it's so convoluted. I feel like at this point because there's not good resources from Go High Level at this point, and there's also like they're constantly changing it.
Yeah.
Which is good,
Yeah.
but also like bad because sometimes they'll roll something out and they'll change all your dimensions, so you have to go and revisit those questions.
Yeah.
This happened to me once before with Go High Level, where we set something up a certain way, then they changed something on the back end without telling anybody. So you got really definitely that's what I was saying. That's why I was telling you before was
Keep an eye on it.
and
Yeah.
keep your eye on it because it's so new and they just launched it.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous to give that the complete control over your customers' leads to talk to the customer.
Yeah. So that's the conversation. We met yesterday with Ed, Dustin, Justin, who's our sales guy, and me, and we were kind of like playing with the idea of this. And all four of us were just like, listen, I don't think this is a good idea to just send all the calls to this thing, because then if it fucks up, then you're liable for like, the guy's gonna be like, well, this wouldn't have happened if I would have answered it, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, we'll do it as an answering service first, as like a backstop if they miss the call. At least sell it cheap, just as an add-on. And
I'm excited about it.
I am too.
I think it's much better than like I told you, my tree service, his phone doesn't even ring a lot of times. I listen to some, just straight to voicemail, no ring, and I'm like, man, what are you doing? And then I have a water damage service. He's got a better one now, but he's probably down to like 7 or 8 answering services.
Yeah.
And I listen to most of his calls because the cost per lead is so high. And I can't tell you how many of them they're terrible. They're answering the call. Of course they work from home, which is fine.
Yeah.
But they answer the call at like 11 o'clock or midnight or 2 in the morning in a flooded house, and they're like, I don't know, he'll try and call you back. I don't know if it's starting out. They don't even read the script right.
No, it's terrible. Listen. I talked about this last week too. This is like the biggest issue we have in our agency is these guys don't have a sales process, and it only hurts them. Like if we're sending you, I'm hoping that this AI thing will advance in the future more. I know it will, but where it'll eventually we'll be able to just take the calls and not fumble them around and mess them up. But as of right now, the basic stuff like a call answering service, I think we can sell the shit out of this like easily.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's way better.
I mean, we get 3 to 5 leads a day for people who want an answering service, and we were going to like partner with a call center and do all that stuff. And now it's like, why are we going to do that? Like there is no more call centers anymore after this. Like this is going to change everything. It's crazy.
I know. I think it's way better. I mean, customers paying, $300 a lead for water damage, and he's getting calls like it's Sunday, right? And people have a flooded house, right, which is a huge lead, and the answering service is like, well, it's Sunday. I don't know if he works today, and right in front of them it says 24/7.
Yep. And that's not a good look. Mark, are you guys gonna play around with that, the AI answering service or
It seems like we
sales
always
agent?
Believe it or not, we also have clients who don't pick up their phone.
Shocker.
Sometimes we have clients who do pick up their phone, but we wish they didn't. So we have both those issues. So I think if you reminded me of something, I don't know if y'all ever listened to the All In podcast, but they're investors out of Silicon Valley. Talking AI and things, and call centers are the first thing they see going away. First of all, because call centers suck so much, and AI can quickly duplicate their efforts. So I think we have to, and it's an easy. Are you doing it through High Level?
We are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
High Level worries me. We're testing something out with High Level right now that I'm not sure what the issue is, but there's a lot going on over there.
There is. I like it a lot. Like I know, Evan, you run all your stuff through it, like tracking wise. I don't do that, and we started to do that, and then it was like not good. Like it was not accurate.
We had some issues. We had some,
and that's why I stopped.
Posted in the group, but it's a mess. I don't.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna have my brother Matt, my younger brother Matt, has a data attribution company called Cometly, and I'm gonna have him on here too to kind of like demo it because it's really fucking cool. I think it's more for e-com stuff, but it will do anything. And they just rolled out like this AI tracking pixel thing where it's like 100% attribution no matter what the channel is or where it's coming from. It knows it can go find everything. It's pretty wild, man. But I feel like that's going to be a big piece of the future and stuff like that. Like Hyros too, all that.
With all the privacy settings.
Yeah, exactly.
Tracking, tracking it's just such a pain lately.
It sucks. Especially Facebook. But all right, yes. So let me go back to the LSA stuff. We'll burn it through it real quick. There's a couple things in here that I thought were really interesting. One of the biggest things too was photos, right? Obviously, in all of my courses, you guys have seen them. I talk about you got to use real photos, right? You can't use stock shit. It doesn't work. It's terrible. It turns people off. So this guy was basically saying the more photos you have, the better too, which makes sense, obviously. But make sure they're real, because I saw a couple of them that had there was a plumber, right? Like we just onboarded a plumber for LSA, and one of his competitors, his whole profile was stock images of like a drain. Like it was like so obviously I get it, that stuff's not going to work, but I thought that was interesting to try and get as many photos as you can from these guys when you're onboarding them. And they use the automated bidding, which we use too. And they said that though, if the account stalls, to switch to manual bidding and set it as at 3 times what you were getting leads for before, to like get it unstuck, and then you can move it back, which I thought was interesting too. Again, I haven't had a chance to test any of this yet because we haven't had any issues, but I plan on it fully, like in documenting all this shit.
I did the same thing. I saw some videos too, or seen some Reddit groups where they said to make your budget, your weekly budget, like 4 times what you're willing to spend.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
I have done that on accounts that have stalled, but it hasn't really helped. You know,
yeah.
I have an account that I put in like 4,000 a week, and he's
yeah.
spending 200 a week. So.
Exactly. I think the hardest part about that is trying to explain to them, like, listen, you're not going to spend $4,000 in a week, but this is how we got to get it unstuck. Yeah.
I don't even ask them.
Oh God, I can imagine that phone call.
They don't get even spend. It doesn't even spend.
Yeah. Have you seen that they have a TCPA setting now? You notice that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I saw that in the.
Oh yeah. No, I think yeah.
It's like a checkbox now. It's just TC. You can set what you want to pay for the call. I assume that people are gonna mess that up and set things at like $5, which obviously we know is gonna kill it for them. But
right. Yeah.
I haven't got into that yet, playing with it, but that's something I definitely want to do. I love TCPA when it's used properly. I'll use it on almost all of our accounts after a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. But you guys know how that goes. Sometimes it'll stall, you'll get stuck, lead volume will get choked out. So
yeah, most of our LSA accounts were just it's just filling in the gaps. They're not bringing in a ton of calls.
Yeah.
The tree service was new. I have a dog boarding and you know, dog boarding place and daycare, and they kill it because there's no competition. It's like, you know, it's kind of new in that category, and so
that's awesome.
Probably get like 40, 50 calls a month.
That's a lot, man, for something like that. You know, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, overall, we're getting 120 calls a month. They're killing it. It's LA, so there's a lot of people need it.
Yeah. So the message leads thing was another big one too that he was talking about. Like if it stalls, turn on the messages. I feel like we should just probably run those anyway, right from the start, right? You guys run the messages too, and the calls.
Some I turn off, some I turn on. I noticed the messages they're a lot of times when the customer returns the message, the customer never responds. The client responds right away. The customer never responds. It's like they're just going through sending messages to 3, 4, 5 people.
Interesting.
And so the message closure rate is not great with that. I noticed.
So that's pretty much the only shit I got out of that Blueprint training thing. $199. Not terrible. I mean, it was worth it. Whatever. It's $200, but definitely got some things I didn't know about from there. They didn't even touch on the booking percentage, which I thought was interesting. I know that's real. I know it is. So they didn't even talk about it, which I thought was strange. If you don't book enough jobs, I mean, they're gonna deprioritize you. Mark, are you selling this yet?
No. We'll definitely 2025.
Yeah.
Roll it out.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready. I'll give you our agency SOP.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, Dustin mapped it all out like in a week, after a lot of trial and error of.
I need a Dustin.
I
can just get your stuff.
Yeah. I'll loan them out for hire.
I have some questions for Rob and Evan.
Yeah.
Because since I've only had this one call, like I haven't dealt with the leads inside the list very much, and like where it asks for customer email, we have it. I was hesitant to put it in there because then you lose control over like they automatically send it to the lead asking for a review, I guess, if you get the job. I don't know. Do you have any insight?
Are you talking about Evan uses high level, I think, right? You have it go through that?
Yeah.
What's your setup for that?
So we put a tracking number in high level, and then we forward the calls to that tracking number.
Yeah.
And then I have it labeled as, you know, a LSA call.
We have the same thing with Colorado.
But you don't even use the like thing inside Google LSA that gives you the lead report. Like you don't even go there.
No, not really. No.
Okay, because I thought you had to like fill these things out quickly.
No, you should be doing it. You should be.
Are you talking about attributing the job, like if it's sold and?
Well, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. He's only had one, and he went out and he saw it that same day.
Well, you got to mark that as booked then. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that.
Well, okay, so it says charged, charge status, charged. It didn't give me, like I put in there, I mean, it says status, completed December 9th, 1 p.m., status charged. I don't know really what that means.
And he might have marked it as booked already.
I don't think he's even been in here.
There's a like little box at the top. It says
A blue button.
booked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be at the top, like top right.
I don't know, can I share my screen?
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, this is what I see. There's just this one lead. And they want me to rate it. And
What?
kind of,
This is remodeling, right? Rate it.
yeah.
All right. So, how was the lead? You said the guy went out and.
Well, I think it's a good, solid lead. The woman said, I want a new bathroom, like, set, new shower,
All right,
all that.
that's a good lead then.
Yes.
Regardless if he sold it or not is irrelevant.
Weirdo about it because it's on the south side of Syracuse, and then he started making comments like, oh, I wonder if I need to conceal carry and shit like that, and like.
I would rate it as very satisfied. It's a good lead,
Yeah.
regardless of his opinion of it. It still was what
Okay.
he was looking for, right? So it converted into a booked customer, which it did, right?
Well, no.
Or
he's
not a
gonna
customer.
Give her a.
It could.
Yeah, like he's gonna give her a proposal. He
Okay,
looked
so
at
it could convert into a booked customer or client soon.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it looks like you marked this already as booked because it says. It's hard to see here. Hit done.
Well,
hit done on there.
I did that because I don't remember
That's fine.
exactly what it said, but it was like basically, have you responded? And I wanted to like make sure that like they booked a date
Yeah.
to look at it. You know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
hadn't
fine.
been through the process before, so I
Because it
didn't.
says status completed December 9th.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You already marked his book and rated it now, so that's good too.
Okay.
Nice. If you don't mind, do you want to go out into his locations and we can kind of see what's going on with it?
Sure.
Why it's not? Because I mean, if you're targeting Syracuse, that's a little bizarre. Unless there's a lot of competition.
You know, I mean, it is a competitive one, and there's these, you know, big companies that
Mm-hmm.
have their hands in all, you know, Google search ads.
How many? Your pictures are good. Nice.
And I could add more.
Definitely
That's-
add more for sure.
Okay.
Add as many as I'll let you.
Okay.
Before after stuff too. Ad schedule. So.
I'm not sure why this has mine in there, to tell you the truth, but it was actually good because I saw it in my email like 20 minutes after he got the call, and I called him up and I said, you got to call this person back right now.
It's probably better that you get the leads anyway.
That's what I
to
was
be
thinking.
honest.
At this point, I can keep up with it because there's not getting many.
So you got the
7 in the
exclusion.
morning,
Yeah.
to 9 at night. I don't know if I screwed myself up by doing this, but I just was.
You did a localized exclusions. Can you zoom in on that map? We'll let you.
It won't really let me. I mean, I can do that.
Just want to make sure
It's
you're not.
basically, this is, you know, Madison and Onondaga County.
That. I mean,
And
listen.
it took-
I have not seen this in LSA yet, but I have seen this with Google. If you get that close to it around a targeted location, it could choke things up.
So maybe I should take those other ones out,
That as at least a
just
test.
to try it.
Yeah, kind of. Don't get rid of all of them. Just get rid of the ones directly touching it around it,
Okay.
and then see if that kind of opens it up for you. Because I definitely have seen this with Google Ads where they just stopped because their localized exclusions got too close to the targets, and some of them overlapped, and that's obviously problematic.
See how well I know my counties in New York State.
I'm actually from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Erie County.
Yeah, I'm right here in the snow belt.
Yeah. Do you guys get hammered with snow yet?
We have a few times. It's
Yeah.
normal, but now it's like we get hammered and then it melts. We get hammered
Yep.
and then it melts. And it's just annoying.
We used to get that, what was it? The lake effect snow. Holy shit,
Yeah,
that stuff was no
that's
joke,
what we
man.
get.
You could probably just click on it and it'll highlight it, won't it?
No,
No.
it doesn't. I can come back to that.
Oh, Wally just, sorry, buddy, Wally, I didn't see that. Already have AI answer and missed call. Big help. So, Wally, are you there still? Or are you dead?
No, I'm here.
Tell us how it's going for you.
It's going good. I don't use high level. I have another independent that I'm using.
Yeah.
It did take us a while to train it. So what we did is we set it up and then went through internally training the thing. So we did some dummy calls to it, probably about 10 or 15 dummy calls to it, and we had to train the thing. That was probably the hardest part about it.
Yeah.
Once we got it trained, it keeps learning. So it's actually working pretty good. We use it right now. We're using it on a tire shop.
Yeah.
And they're missing. They do a lot with their cell phones, but they were missing probably about 20% of their calls.
Oh wow.
Going unanswered.
Yeah.
And so it probably affected their bottom line, probably about $10,000 or $20,000 a month.
Damn.
So we did that and launched that with them, and now, I mean, we really increased our revenue. Which makes them really happy because and of course, since we're tied to how we perform with them, that means an increase for us too.
Yeah.
And the AI is minuscule cost wise.
Yeah. I mean, I think the high level one's $97 a month, right? Unlimited.
Yeah.
So
right now it's free till December 31st.
Yeah.
Right
So whether you use high level or somebody else doesn't really matter, but they're certainly worth playing around with.
Yeah.
And I would really spend the time training them. That's really the big thing.
That's what we're doing right now with the first one. We're gonna probably have one, if possible. We want to do one for every niche we're in, and not just have like a generalized thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we'll have one that we use for the junk removal clients, sub accounts, and one if we can do that. I don't know. Dustin's setting all that shit up. I have no idea how it works, but that's what we were talking
about. The nice
about.
thing is you can copy them.
Yeah.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? So that's really cool.
Yeah. Then you can just kind of put about that particular business.
Copy it after it's all trained up, and then swap in the new business name, all that shit.
Yeah. Because the general framework is the same. If you're dealing with service clients, you really just need to have a specific part of the prompt for that business that you're dealing with, like the business owner's name and his services. Various. So. Yeah. But I haven't hooked it up yet. I just designed it last night. So I was trying to map it in my head. So like it goes to a phone number now. So I'm guessing that I need to maybe forward his ad.
Yeah.
Because I want to run it for the ad. So I need to run that ad numbers to that.
So you're running the calls directly to it.
Yeah, well, for this tree service I'm going to, the reason like a 5-call won't work is that for some reason his phone, it doesn't ring like half the time.
Yeah.
Because if he's out of the area, so a 5-call won't work because it still goes directly to his voicemail and
it's probably better than if his phone's not working like that. There's an issue probably. But if you can get it just instead of it, you just skip him, put it right into that, then that would probably make more sense.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be better. There's a language thing too, so it'll be better. Yeah,
definitely. Sue, these are all the services you're going after?
Yeah, so while I'm still sharing my screen here, a question that I had is I saw somewhere on YouTube that the more you have, the more you're actually spreading out your budget. But then other people say, no, put more in there because it's adding more keywords kind of.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I would think the latter. The more the better. I would think you're gonna choke if you just say you just did bathroom tile. That's a super specific thing.
Yeah, it's an inventory.
You think I'm good with what I have here?
Yeah, I would think you're
there's
fine.
Only so much space. That's the problem is there's an inventory issue. So the more you put in there, the more inventory you can show up for. Because on LSA, really, you got to be top 3.
Yeah, you definitely have to be. And how many reviews does he have?
He's got 23 5-star reviews.
Okay.
So it's not like awful.
No, that's great. But if you're competing against someone who's got 2,000, or a couple people who have 2,000, it's gonna kind of box them out.
You know, some of these other people that are popping up aren't really any different in the review area, so that didn't make sense either.
Yeah, good.
I think they put the reviews as a lower weighting now. Is kind of what I heard, because there was a problem with fake reviews. We were
AI reviews
space, and you could see it so easily. I don't know why Google didn't do anything, but they would get 2,000 reviews in a month, nothing before that and nothing after that, and everyone was like, John's garage service is the greatest garage service ever. I like them for springs and garage door openers. And
I know they're struggling big time with AI reviews, and they're trying to crack down on it now. I don't know how they could possibly figure out if a review is AI generated, but unless
it was pretty, even for me, just 5 seconds of going like, there's no reviews before. Is 2,000 reviews realistic for garage door service in 1 month?
Oh yeah, that stuff is the obvious stuff. But I mean, like, somebody who peppers them in, like 2, 3 a week, going like, or 1 a day or something like that, they're gonna have a hard time trying to figure that out. Sue, do you want me, since you shared your screen, do you want me not to put this on YouTube?
Oh.
It's up to you.
No, I don't really care. I don't think it's,
No, there was no sensitive data show, but I just wanted to ask before.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So yeah, I would definitely add more pictures to that guy's thing too. Kind of just see if you can jumpstart it. I don't know. That's weird that it just launched 2 weeks ago and you have 1 call.
Yeah, I think it's weird too.
Hopefully removing the exclusions that are touching it will maybe get it moving.
I'm finish that right now while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. What else you guys got? Anything else going on?
I forgot to email you back, Rob, but thank you for the review on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Service. I'm just lost on that.
I know. Hey, man.
Another B version. Hopefully it'll help. But
like that's I'm telling you, you don't have a Google Ads problem. You don't. It's just a landing page. I don't know why.
Surprising that. I mean, you saw the landing
It's a nice page. It looks great, and you said that works for other clients in the same space.
This same customer had a location in California before he moved to Texas, and the California one's killing it with that page. Like, in fact, and our bids are way lower in California, which is a more competitive market.
It's just bizarre that it would do well in somewhere else and then not here, but it's definitely a landing page. I don't know. Just test it until you get it working, because keep sending the traffic, because what you got going on with Google is great. I mean, the traffic's good that's coming through. It's just you gotta stop turning into leads. I don't know what the hell that's about.
Yeah.
I even checked it on my phone too. With all your numbers are great now. Click the call, everything pulls up fine. So.
Yeah. Thanks for your feedback, man.
Yeah, for sure. We got like 6 minutes left. Do you guys want to cover anything before we jet out for the weekend? Mark, anything?
Feels like I should. Maybe the week just burned me out. I don't know.
I'm curious about how you're packaging, Rob, to like sell this, because I would be nervous that with my experience, and I would tend to agree a little bit more with Ryan on the call that he doesn't actually sell it.
Yeah, he adds it as a combo thing.
And it's like a bonus.
Right now, we're doing both. So we're testing it with people who if it's a niche we cannot service in Google Ads, because it's just like there's certain niches where we just don't even bother with anymore. Like roofing is one of them, because it's so fucking competitive. We'll pitch this over that as like trying to get them leads through LSA if the location makes sense. Like there's criteria. If we're gonna push an LSA only service, they have to be in a massive location. So that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
As a standalone, but we're also comboing it with Google Ads plus this, with Facebook Ads plus this, and we'll just do this for free and just lump it in to make it more sticky. The retention.
That's what we do.
You've been doing that. Yeah, you've been doing that.
Yeah, I don't charge extra because I figured I don't even charge extra for high level. I have some customers that only do high level, so I do charge them. But majority of my clients, it's just right in the offering. Like, hey, this is our charge. It includes high level, LSA.
Yep.
Pay-per-click and because they always want to cut something back. It's, you know,
Yeah.
some LSA calls. Like, oh, let me put that.
I have a feeling this is going to be used for us at least more as like a sweetener. We'll just toss it in to, hey, listen, we'll run this for you too, along with everything else. And any call that comes through is just, you know, icing that otherwise they would not have. And it takes like no time to manage this shit. It's, you know, so yeah, that's how we're doing it. And as we get further into it, Justin's selling the shit out of this right now. So as we get more into this and I have more, then I'll have more data for you guys. But right now, I think he sold 5 in the last couple days. So they're all working through the pipe.
So do you guys get a lot of your inbound leads from your YouTube channel?
YouTube, we get a lot, yeah. And I set up I showed you guys in the video, I set up a retargeting campaign last week. That thing is like on fire right now. We got 30 leads in the last week and closed like 6 of them. So that's another thing we're doing now, trying to scale that up. More YouTube, but I'm kind of capped with YouTube because it's just me who's doing it, and I don't want to make videos all day. You know what I mean? Like, I got other shit to do. Like, I like messing around in here with you guys and having, like, that's fun for me. Making case study videos 8 hours a day is just not what I want to do anymore. But I have to.
So, is your background virtual or is that a real?
No, it's real. Yeah, it's like 3D. If you see though, I ran out of tile. So. Yeah, I'm in the my office is in the basement with all my kids shit around me too. So. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I mean, if you guys have any other questions, drop in the group. We got 3 minutes left, so we might as well just cut it and everyone get out of here for the weekend.
My other client that I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do with is a roofing client.
Yeah.
I already tried to do, well, okay, so I hired a white label company last spring thinking I was doing the right thing because I was like questioning my own experience. And I went with a very well-known, supposedly reputable company, and they did okay, but they did minimal work.
Yeah.
And as you know, for a roofing client, you need to do maximum work.
Yeah.
So it just fell short, and I was burning their money and not feeling good about it, and so I pulled the plug on it.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to figure out if I should go back and try to do it again and do it myself and do it better.
Listen, roofing is one of those spaces. Roofing is one of those spaces too, where it's like plumbing, where you have to stay on top of the negative keywords because you're gonna get so much competitor shit drug in, and that's why another reason why the keyword tool I'm making right now is gonna be like, if you're gonna run Google Ads, like, you have to use this. Like, it makes optimizing these campaigns 10 times faster. So
I mean, say I had tons of time and a big budget, and I did a bunch of single keyword ad groups and tried to kill it that way. Does that work?
You could try it. What's the location that it's in?
It's, again, this rural part of central New York State. Like, and he doesn't even want to deal with Syracuse. That's part of the problem. So
yeah.
Just wasn't getting the volume, and so therefore it was really hard to know what was happening. If it was just like a time thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to make that work. I mean, I would just set the expectation with them and be like, listen, like, you're in a rural area. I don't know what you're expecting, but this is what, reframe the expectation for them. Like,
but
you're not gonna light
the
the world on fire
company
here.
already went, and like I found out that after a while they had Utica, New York as a negative.
And that was one they're targeting?
It's like the next biggest city outside of Syracuse, and they had it in the negative keyword list, and it was just like stuff like that I kept seeing they were doing wrong because they're not familiar with the area, and so it just didn't go great.
Probably Skag is going to be your best bet if you're in a small area, and just, it's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? I mean, that's what I would do.
Problem we've had with our roofers is they get booked up, so and then they don't even want to run their ads, you know.
Yeah,
like,
that's a good problem.
And it is, but it's not just from the ads. I get so much referrals.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I'm 6 months out, you know. I'm like,
yeah.
Tired.
And my guy's an ex-felon, so he can't do the LSAs.
No. Yeah. Reframe that expectation for them. That's all. That's the best you can do.
They're all ex-felons. I don't know if that's true, but I guess roofing has a lot of felons.
Possibly. I don't know. But
all my roofers do really well. They're all. I have one that's 81 years old, still working.
He's a maniac.
Multi-millionaire. He doesn't even have to work.
Ah. All right, that's it. We're all done here, guys. Catch you in the next one.